Welcome to this guided meditation for stress and anxiety produced by the Quiet Mind Lab. If you've been suffering with stress or anxiety today, this practice is here to help you slow down, soften some of that pressure, and give your mind somewhere gentle to rest. You don't need to force yourself to relax, and you don't need to solve everything that's been weighing heavy on you. But just allow yourself to pause here for the next few minutes and see if you can meet whatever is happening with a little less resistance. So when you're ready, find a position that feels comfortable, either sitting in a chair or lying down or even resting back against something supportive. There's no perfect posture you need to arrange yourself into here, but just choose a position where the body can feel supported and you can settle into a relaxed state. And if your eyes are open, feel free to close them or gently soften your gaze and take a deep breath. And again, another deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth as you take a moment to settle. And now begin by noticing the physical points of contact between your body and the surface supporting you. Perhaps you notice the feeling of your back against the chair or bed, or the feeling of your hands resting comfortably in your lap or at your side. See if you can also gently guide your attention down into the lower half of your body, becoming aware of the weight of your legs and the contact of your feet against the floor. There's nothing you need to change or adjust here. We're just beginning the practice by grounding awareness in the physical sensations appearing in consciousness. So just take a few moments to notice these physical sensations as they appear and then shift or disappear. And as you pay close attention to these points of physical contact, you'll begin to notice the mind doesn't always stay where you ask it to. You'll very likely find yourself thinking about something else, or even lost in thought so completely that you've forgotten you were supposed to be meditating. And as soon as you notice this happening, just observe the thought itself without judgment, and then gently guide your attention back to the physical sensations within the body. And notice you don't decide to think these thoughts. They just appear in the same way a sound or a sensation might appear in consciousness. The mind is constantly producing these thoughts, and the key is to simply notice you've become lost in them without frustration, and then return your attention to the object of meditation. In this case, any sensations appearing in your body. And this process is especially useful if you're suffering from stress or anxiety, because so much of what we experience as stress begins with thoughts we didn't choose. You're resting here, paying close attention to the body and then a difficult or painful thought appears, and before long you're suffering needlessly at the mercy of a thought you didn't ask for. And this is often how anxiety pulls us in, not because every thought is important or true or even useful, but because we become so involved and so tangled in them that we feel as if we are our thoughts. So just see if you can notice this simple difference. There's the thought itself appearing in the mind, and then separate and distinct is the awareness of that thought. Just rest with that for a few moments, noticing thoughts as they appear, and then gently returning to the body each time. And now gently bring your attention to the breath, not to control or adjust how you're breathing, or attempt to breathe in any special way, but just to notice the physical sensation of breathing itself. Try to pay close attention to the sensation you notice most clearly. For you, this might be the rise and fall of the chest, or lower down in the stomach, or perhaps even at the tip of the nose. And just see if you can follow the next few breaths, from the beginning of the inhale to the small pause between breaths, and then all the way through to the end of the exhale. And again, as you do this, thoughts will continue to appear. Perhaps you notice a thought about something you need to do, or a worry about the day ahead, or maybe just a few random thoughts appearing for no obvious reason. And when that happens, just notice these thoughts with a gentle curiosity, and then gently return to the breath. And this is the practice of mindfulness. Not holding the mind perfectly still, but simply noticing when your attention is drifting, and then returning to the breath or the body without judgment. And each time you do this, you're becoming less tangled up in these thoughts and more aware of them as just another appearance in consciousness. So just rest here for a few moments, following the breath and noticing when the mind wanders, and gently coming back each time. And now, as you continue following the breath, take a moment to imagine that thoughts are like a river moving through the mind. Not peaceful or timid, but a rushing current, constantly moving and pressing against you. One thought leading into another, a worry taking hold, or a painful memory. Each thought rushing past you, attempting to pull you along with the current. Allow the image to be as vivid or detailed as you'd like, and just hold that in your mind for a few seconds. And now imagine taking a few steps in either direction and stepping out of that current. Maybe you can imagine yourself standing on the bank of the river, just watching the flow of the water from a distance. The river still rushes past, but you're no longer bracing against it or being pulled along by it. And each time you notice the mind being pulled back towards the current, just gently step away again. And just take a moment to notice how different you feel observing thoughts instead of identifying with them. And now allow the image of the river to slowly fade into the background as you bring your attention back to the breath. And before we finish, just notice that nothing needed to be forced here. Thoughts appeared and your attention wandered, but each time you noticed, you had the opportunity to come back. And that's the practice of mindfulness. Not removing stress or anxiety by force, but just changing your relationship to them. Recognizing thoughts as appearances in consciousness instead of something you have to follow or become tangled in. So as you move back into the rest of your day, see if you can carry this sense of awareness with you. The next time the mind begins rushing ahead, or the next time a difficult thought appears, you don't need to fight it. You can simply notice it as just another appearance in consciousness, and choose to step out of it, or gently return to something simple like the breath or the body. And now gently begin to bring your attention back to the space around you. Notice the surface beneath you or the weight of your body. And slowly bring some movement back into your hands and feet. And when you're ready, gently open your eyes. Thank you for taking the time to practice with me today. And if this helped you, please like and subscribe. You can also support the channel via the PayPal link in the description, and any support is really appreciated. Thanks again, and I look forward to seeing you soon.